Hello and welcome to Tuts Plus. My name is Martin Verhiniak, and this is the Digital Publishing in InDesign CC series. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Edge Animate to create animations which then you can use in your InDesign DPS and EPUB projects. You might remember that we already covered animation in a previous episode of this series, where we had a look at InDesign's built-in animation possibilities, the animation panel and the timing panel, and used them to create these simple animations. Let's just have a look. As a reminder, we could control how these elements show up, and we could also use some buttons to show a couple of animations. So you can create these simple animations in InDesign and then use them in your projects, but unfortunately mainly these options can only be exported as a SWF file, which is a flash file, or used in PDF, interactive PDFs. But unfortunately these options can only be used in a SWF file because all these animations are based on flash technology. And unfortunately, that is not supported by iPhones and iPads. Adobe Edge Animate, on the other hand, can create animations that will be supported on every device. Obviously, that means that you have to learn another application, but believe me, it's a very useful skill to know, especially if you have Creative Cloud membership. You have this application automatically together with your most commonly used design tools like InDesign, Photoshop and Illustrator. So it's worth spending some time and learning this tool, because with this you can create very engaging and really cool looking animations, interactive animations, which then you can include in your digital publishing projects or EPUBs. So first of all, what I would recommend for you to do is to go on Adobe's website. Just search for Adobe Edge Animate, and then if you find the showcase, under showcase you can download a couple of projects that was created with this application, and you just simply click on download and then you can see how it works. So let's have a look at this one. For example, if I click on view, we can see the whole animation project. So the text comes in, then the image comes in, and then we can also move this up and down. So I can scroll on it. Obviously in a tablet it would be touch sensitive, and then while I'm scrolling down we get this parallax scrolling effect when the elements will come in from the sides when we reach that position in the animation. So that is just an example from many of the other examples here. But what I'm going to use for this tutorial is this one called the interactive marquee. So I would recommend for you also to try the same thing. You can download this file from Adobe's website, and then it's going to be a file or folder called Adobe Edge Animate marquee, and under that you will find the index.an file. That's the project file. And once you double click on that, it will open up in the Adobe Edge application. So here, really all you need to do is probably to set a poster image. So if you click on this little capture stage as poster image, that's going to do it. Just click on capture. So that's going to be already saved as the start image. So before the animation starts, the poster image is used as a static frame, just so your users will know what to expect once they tap or click on that area. And then you can click on Publish Settings once you are done with this. And here choose the Animate Deployment Package. You don't need the web option, so just the Animate Deployment Package, and put it somewhere on your computer. I'm just going to put it on my desktop, and I'm going to call it, let's just call this Fashion. So that should export everything for us that we can now use in InDesign. So if I go back to InDesign, and I'm just going to close these panels, I don't need the animation options. What I need instead is the folio builder. I'm going to close this document as well and create a new document. So go to File, New Document, and I'm going to create a project which is intended for digital publishing. I'm going to use iPad, so it's a default size for iPads. I'm going to click on OK. So now we have this document ready. So we just need to place in the edge animation. So I go to File and choose Place. So there you can see the fashion OAM file. That's what we need. I'm just going to click on Open, and I can click to place this into my InDesign document. So there we have this animation. And what we can do now is to create a folio for this and preview how it looks on a tablet device. So what I'm going to do is to go to the folio builder and click here on Create New Folio. I'm just going to call this Fashion. And Apple iPad, I'm just going to use one weight, so just landscape only folio. And then I'm going to also choose Create Offline Folio. While I'm testing it, it's a good option to select, so it won't upload everything on the cloud while I'm working. So I'm going to click on OK. And then once we are here, we just need to create an article. So I'm just going to click and choose Add Open InDesign Document. And I'm just going to call this Product Selector. Going to click on OK, and I'm going to also save the document. So I just save it again also on my desktop called Fashion. So now everything is prepared. So we have our edge animation in an folio file, and we can test this out. So we can click on Preview, and I'm going to get the Adobe Content Viewer application. So that is exactly how it's going to look like on an iPad, but now we can just preview it here on the desktop. So I click on it, and then we can select from these images. So we can see the animation. I can click on this one here, and it shows my product. I can close it, select the other one, and so on and so forth. So you can see that this type of animation is obviously a bit much more sophisticated than just using the technology that you have and the options you have in InDesign. And even though you have to learn a separate application, it can really extend the possibilities that you have in your digital publishing projects and EPUB projects. And that's all I wanted to show you in this tutorial. I hope I inspired you to try out Edge Animate. Thanks a lot for your attention, and see you next time here on Tuts Plus.